Good morning, students. We're going to be adding some more tools to our informational text toolbox. So we are going to be looking at some more text features. We have our text features that we've already learned about in previous lessons, and we're going to add some more text features to our informational toolbox. Text features are often found in informational text to give us some more information. Our standard that we're going to be working on is LAFS RI 2.5. So we're going to be looking and using various text features inside of our informational text. We have two learning targets today. Our first learning target is to locate various text features. So we're going to be looking for a lot of different text features. We're going to be looking inside of one of our Scholastic News magazines to find some new text features that we're going to learn about. Now, it's easy enough to look for those text features, but we're also going to have to use those text features. So our second learning target today is to use text features to find information. So when I'm reading an informational text, I'm looking for information, and text features help me find that information. It's a good way to organize that information that I'm wanting to learn about. So we have our text features that we've already learned about, so let's review those. We have a glossary. Those show us those important words and their definitions. Usually we find that at the back of the book. Then we have a timeline. This shows us the order of events in a line, showing us the time. Then we have a diagram. A diagram shows me the parts of an object. And last, we learned about the table of content, and that's going to show me the page that I need to go to if I want to find a specific type of information. So our four brand new text features are right here. So let's go through our first text feature, okay? The first one is illustration and photograph. These are types of pictures that we might see in an informational text. The first one is an illustration. An illustration is drawn out by an illustrator. They have pens, pencils, markers. Can anybody else think of something that they would use to illustrate a picture with? Good job. Next, we have a photograph. A photograph is taken with a real, that's right, camera. Okay, so these are live pictures, and you can see the difference between the two hands here. One looks like a real hand taken by a camera, and one is taken or drawn out with a pen or pencil. So these are illustrations and photographs. Next, we have a heading. So a heading is usually at the top of what I'm going to be reading about. Maybe the top of the page, maybe the top of the paragraph, but a heading tells me what I'm going to be reading about. So in this example, it's at the top of the page. It says all about fish. So can anybody tell me what you think I'm going to be reading about on this page? That's right, all about fish. So it's like a little preview. It's a sneak peek of what I'm going to be reading about. If it said all about dinosaurs, of course, these paragraphs would be all about dinosaurs. So this is called a heading. Next, I have keywords. Keywords are important words. Keywords can look a little different. Sometimes they're bold. Sometimes they're a different color, red, yellow, blue. It could even be purple sometimes. Yes, of course. Okay, so keywords are important words, and guess what? Those important words are those words that you find in the glossary. Yes, so these words are words that you want to look out for because they are important words. Keywords. Last one is our caption. A caption gives me information about an illustration or a photograph. So if I saw an illustration or a photograph, and then I saw a box underneath or a circle underneath with words in it, it's going to give me more information about the picture, the illustration, or the photograph. In this case, I have an illustration. So this caption down here is giving me more information about the illustration. It says, Saturn is the sixth planet from the sun. Saturn has many rings of rock and ice that orbit the planet. So it's giving me more information about this illustration. Maybe I didn't know what planet this was. Maybe I didn't know it was a planet. So that caption can help me learn more about the illustration. So now we're going to take our 4 brand new text features and we're going to look for them in our Scholastic News magazine. At this point, I would display my Scholastic News magazine through a PowerPoint, through my DocCam, or on the computer so students can see. If I am lucky enough to have each one individually, each student would also have one on their desk to highlight, underline, circle the text features that we are about to locate. So right now, we're going to be working on our target of locate various text features. Those text features we're going to locate today are caption, illustration photograph, keywords, and a heading. So in our Scholastic News magazine, I want us to look for those text features. Okay, first off, let's look for a heading. A heading, remember, is going to be at the top of a page or a top of a paragraph to tell me what I'm going to be reading about. So could anybody take a look and see if they could find what we're going to be reading about here on this page? Yes, that's right. At the top of my page here, it says School for Apes. So, do you think I'm going to be reading about elephants going in the water? No. Nope, I'm going to be reading about School for Apes. That's kind of silly. Apes going to school? Underneath each paragraph is going to give me some more information. So let's say I wanted to learn about them going to school, because I think that's kind of funny. Monkeys, apes going to school. I could go to this subheading here and find information about them going to school. So these headings tell me what I'm going to be reading about. Very good. Okay, next we're going to look for some keywords. Remember, keywords are important words. They can be different colors. They can be bold print. So let's see if we can find one that stands out, that looks important. I see one right here that's highlighted in yellow. It says phalanges. Phalanges, adult males grow wide cheek pods called phalanges. And there's even some arrows, some labels to point to those phalanges. These are key words. Very good. Next, we're going to locate, on this page, do you see illustrations or do you see photographs? If you see illustrations, I'd like you to pretend like you're drawing in the air. If you see photographs, I'd like you to take a picture with your imaginary camera. Very good. I see lots of you taking pictures with your imaginary cameras. It has a live picture. It is a photograph in all of these pictures. And the last one we're going to be locating is a caption. Remember, captions are next to or under a picture that tell me more about that picture. So we've located our photographs. Can you find some important words, some important information next to those photographs? Each one has one. It's telling me more about the photographs. Let's read this one right here. So we have a picture of an ape getting into a pool, a little tub there, and the caption says, "This one gets a bath." So it's telling me more about this photograph. Very good. Awesome job, friends. We have located and those various text features. Let's cross that out and give ourselves a giant check mark. Can you give yourself a giant check mark in the air? Awesome job, friends. Okay, at this point, I would ask my students to get into their small groups, whether it is assigned by me, where I know each individual capabilities and abilities. I would assign them to work together in a small group. I would ask them to get out the books that I had collected for them. So I have a ton of informational nonfiction books, and I've placed them at each pod or each group of students' desks. And we're going to play a little game that's going to allow me to see individual students' abilities. And it's going to be a quick formative assessment for me, so I can jot down who's got it, who needs more help, or who needs to be challenged. So I would ask questions like this. Okay, students, I would like you to find an informational text that you have on your desk there. And as a group, I would like you guys to find a text feature that shows me a little bit more about a picture or a photograph. At this time, I'm going to be walking around the classroom. I'm going to be looking at students to see who is pointing to the correct text feature, who's using the text feature to help them find information. Great, so we found a caption. What does your caption tell you? What information did you get from your caption? These are the questions I'm going to be asking them to now use those text features to find information. Very good, students. Okay, now I want you to find a text feature that tells me what I'm going to be reading about on that page. Again, I'm walking around, I'm looking for those students that might need more help, who I'm going to be pulling in my small group. Very good, friends. Okay, so what does your heading say? We found a heading. It tells me more what I'm going to read about on that page, but what does your heading say? What information are you getting from your heading? Dinosaurs, space, butterflies. I love it. Very good job. Okay, last I want you to find a key word. Look through your nonfiction text, your informational text, and see if you can find a key word. Very good. Okay, so what information are you getting from your key word? Yeah, sometimes they are bigger words. They're words that we may not know, which might be why we go to the glossary to find that information. Very good, friends. So you have used now text features to find information in your informational text. I want you to kiss your brains. Very good. So this would conclude my lesson. And now I would ask them to do their formative assessment, which is going to be kind of a project-based assessment. This allows me to differentiate for my students. It allows me to pull for IEPs and their individual needs. They're going to each get a blank piece of paper, and they're going to be creating a Scholastic News magazine with 3 text features. They can be the text features we learned today or text features that we've already learned about, but I need to see 3 text features. So in their page, to be successful, I'm going to see if they wrote it correctly, drew it correctly, and labeled it correctly to show that they know what kind of information they're going to get from that text feature. So for example, if they are writing about a caption, I need to make sure that they know that that's giving me more information about a picture. So I should also see an illustration or a photograph. So that way I know that they know how to use the information from that text feature. I can differentiate with this project as well. I'm going to be pulling my small group that need help maybe with their IEP. I have students who need reading comprehension for their IEP, so I'm going to be pulling those kids in my small horseshoe table, working with them one-on-one. But I can also differentiate with this project because it's very open-ended. So although the rubric is going to say that they need 3, how they get to those 3 is going to be different for each student. So for one, I might have a student who needs to be challenged. They might have to start writing paragraphs to show their information. So they might have, theirs might actually look more like a magazine article. I might have students that are only capable of drawing their text features, and that's going to be acceptable for those students as well. So I can differentiate my students' needs for this project. And their goals, their IEP goals, and what they're able to show me, especially for some ESOL students that might need to draw instead of write out the text features. But it's going to show me how they can use those various text features. After I'm done explaining that, I'm going to show them that they have now done both learning targets for the day, and they have successfully completed their learning targets for this lesson. Thank you so much.